You probably think your cat is insulting you when they shove their furry little behind right into your face. But here is what nobody tells you about this bizarre behavior. I bet your cat does the exact weird thing I will mention in point number 3. If I am right, you owe me a like and a subscribe. Deal. Let us dive in. Number 1. The instinct of ultimate vulnerability. Ever noticed your cat climbing onto your chest while you are reading or watching television only to spin around slowly and present their tail end right under your nose? Most people assume this is just an annoying feline quirk or a rude demand for attention because they want you to stop what you are doing. But here is the thing. Evolutionary biologists who study wild felines note that the back and the hindquarters are a predator's most vulnerable blind spots. In the wild African savanna, turning your back on another creature is a massive life-threatening risk. It exposes the fragile spine, the vital organs, and the hind legs to a potentially fatal attack from an ambush predator. By willingly turning away from you and placing their most defenseless body parts within your immediate reach, your cat is making a profound and calculated statement of safety. Experts in animal behavior agree that doing this requires a total voluntary suppression of their deepest natural survival instincts. It overrides thousands of years of evolutionary programming that tells them to constantly protect their rear. In cat language, they are saying that they know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you would never hurt them, and they are putting their very life in your hands with absolute certainty. I am going to reveal a completely insane emotional reaction at number 8, but to understand why your cat gets so deeply offended when you reject them, you absolutely need the missing puzzle pieces I am about to show you right now. Do not skip, or the rest will not make sense. And speaking of survival instincts, this incredible level of trust is actually built on a complex foundation of invisible chemical communication, which brings us directly to point number 2. Number 2, the ancient feline handshake protocol. Ever noticed your cat aggressively rubbing their cheeks on your hands or phone, and then finishing the routine by elevating their tail and backing up deeply into your personal space? Most people assume they just have an itch they cannot reach, or they just want you to scratch that specific sweet spot near the base of their tail. But here is the thing. Veterinary behaviorists confirm that a cat's body is covered in specialized sebaceous glands that produce unique chemical markers. The glands located near the base of the tail are incredibly important for feline social structures and communication. When two friendly cats meet in the wild or in a feral colony, they do not just sniff each other's faces and walk away. They perform a highly complex, synchronized ritual of mutual sniffing that deliberately ends with presenting their hindquarters to exchange signature scents. According to leading feline psychology research from top veterinary universities, this is the exact equivalent of a highly respectful greeting among equals in human society, much like a firm handshake or a warm hug between best friends. They are offering you their personal chemical identification profile to read. In cat language, they are saying that you are a highly esteemed member of their inner circle, a true equal in their territory, and they want to blend their scent with yours to create a unified family smell. And while that shows they view you as family, it actually triggers an even weirder instinctual memory from their earliest days of life, which brings us directly to point number 3. Number 3. The eternal kitten syndrome. Ever noticed your cat kneading your blankets with their paws purring loudly like a motor and then shoving their backside directly into your face while you are trying to sleep in your bed? Most people assume they are just trying to find a comfortable position to settle down and rest for the night. But here's the thing. This specific sequence of behaviors traces all the way back to their earliest, most fragile days as a helpless, blind, and deaf kitten. Researchers studying maternal feline behavior document that mother cats must physically stimulate their newborn kittens to go to the bathroom and keep clean by grooming their hindquarters. To facilitate this necessary care, tiny kittens instinctively present their back ends to their mothers. Adult domestic cats often retain these juvenile behaviors well into their adult years, a biological phenomenon scientists call neoteny. When your fully grown cat presents their backside to you while purring and kneading, they are mentally reverting to a state of absolute infantile dependence. In cat language, they are saying that you are their ultimate caregiver, their giant, hairless surrogate mother, and the sole source of all their comfort, nourishment, and safety in a chaotic world. So be honest right now. Did your cat do this exact thing to you? If they did, it is time to pay up on our bet. Hit that like and subscribe button right now to join our community of true cat lovers. And speaking of safety, this deep surrogate mother dynamic leads to an incredible, highly misunderstood protective behavior, which brings us directly to point number 4. Number 4, the invisible threat assessment strategy. Ever noticed your cat jumping onto your lap, intentionally turning their back to your face, and just staring intently at the doorway, the window, or a dark hallway? Most people assume they are just ignoring you, being aloof, or finding a random shadow more interesting to look at than your face. But here is the thing. Felines in the wild occupy a unique position in the food chain because they are both apex predators and potential prey for larger carnivores. They must constantly maintain a high level of situational awareness to survive. By sitting on your lap with their back turned securely to your chest, they are actually dividing the labor of territorial surveillance. Scientific observations of bonded feral cat colonies show that allied pairs will strategically rest, facing in opposite directions to cover a full 360-degree visual angle. Your cat is trusting you to watch their blind spot behind them while they keep a vigilant lookout ahead for any approaching danger. In cat language, they are saying that we are a bonded team, and I am standing guard over our shared territory to protect you while you rest comfortably. This shared surveillance is a foundational cornerstone of feline loyalty. And while they are busy watching the perimeter to keep you safe, they are also doing something extraordinary with their tail posture, which brings us directly to point number 5. Number 5, the flagpole of absolute joy. Ever noticed your cat trotting rapidly up to you with their tail sticking straight up in the air, vibrating slightly at the tip right before they spin around and put their rear near your face? Most people assume this weird tail vibration is a sign of nervous anxiety, or worse, that they are about to spray urine all over your clean furniture. But here is the thing. Animal behaviorists widely refer to the completely vertical tail posture as the friendly greeting flag of the feline world. In feline society, a tail held perfectly erect is a universal, peaceful sign of friendly intentions, confidence, and immense happiness. When a small cat approaches a massive, potentially dangerous animal like a human with a vertical tail, it is a deliberate, highly calculated de-escalation tactic. Leading feline researchers explain that the slight quiver or vibration at the top of an upright tail is an involuntary physical expression of intense, overwhelming joy at simply seeing you exist in their space. In cat language, they are saying that they are absolutely thrilled you are here, their heart is full of happiness, and they are bringing you all their positive, loving energy. This intense emotional joy is deeply tied to how they physically perceive their environment, which brings us directly to point number 6. Number 6, the blending of sight and scent. Ever noticed your cat flat out refusing to look you in the eyes while presenting their rear end staring at the wall, instead almost like they are being deliberately rude or dismissive? Most people assume this blatant lack of eye contact is a sign of disrespect, stubbornness, or classic feline arrogance. But here is the thing. Cats process the physical world very differently than humans do. For a human being, direct eye contact is the primary way we show engagement, honesty, and affection. For a wild or domestic cat, direct prolonged eye contact can actually be interpreted as an aggressive threat, a challenge for dominance, or an invitation to a physical fight. Evolutionary biology dictates that felines rely much more heavily on their highly advanced olfactory senses than their vision for social bonding. By turning their back, breaking eye contact, and allowing you to experience their unique scent profile, they are offering a much deeper, more intimate form of connection than a simple gaze could ever achieve. Scientists note that a cat's world is vividly painted in complex layers of smells. In cat language, they are saying that they trust you enough to drop all aggressive visual posturing and communicate purely through the peaceful, harmonious language of scent. and understanding this peaceful language is absolutely crucial, because failing to do so leads to a heartbreaking outcome, which brings us directly to point number 7. Number 7, the emotional weight of a rejected gift. Ever noticed your cat looking visibly deflated, walking away slowly with their head down, or even flicking their tail in sharp annoyance right after you push their behind away from your face in disgust? Most people assume the cat is just being a dramatic diva because they did not get exactly what they wanted in that exact moment. But here is the thing. Because this specific behavior is rooted in the absolute deepest, most instinctual levels of feline trust, vulnerability, and social bonding. Rejecting it is incredibly confusing and emotionally jarring for them. Animal psychologists and behavioral therapists warn that consistently punishing, yelling at, or forcefully pushing a cat away when they are simply trying to engage in a respectful scent handshake can deeply and permanently damage the human-animal bond. You are essentially taking their most profound instinctual gesture of pure love and throwing it harshly right back at them. In cat language, they are saying that they offered you their entire vulnerable heart and soul, and you told them it was completely unwanted and disgusting. This profound emotional disconnect brings us to the most shocking and saddest aspect of this rejection, which brings us directly to point number 8. Number 8. The silent heartbreak of the misunderstood predator. Remember when I told you earlier in this video that I would reveal a completely insane emotional reaction? Well, this is it. Ever noticed your cat suddenly becoming incredibly aloof, hiding under the bed for hours or acting unusually distant after a seemingly normal minor interaction where you just shooed them away from your face? Most people assume the cat is just being fiercely independent, moody, or acting exactly as cold and detached as cats naturally are rumored to be. But here is the thing. When a cat actively chooses to offer you their highly vulnerable hindquarters, they are engaging in what ethologists officially call an affiliative behavior. It is the vital social glue that holds their family unit together. When this essential social glue is repeatedly rejected by the human they love most, the cat experiences genuine, measurable emotional distress. Clinical studies on feline environmental stress reveal that cats who feel their deep social gestures are chronically ignored or punished will actually begin to withdraw entirely to protect their own fragile emotional well-being. They do not hold malicious grudges like human beings do, but they are incredibly smart, and they do quickly learn where it is psychologically safe to invest their deep affection. In cat language, they are saying that they are quietly heartbroken and withdrawing into themselves because they simply do not know how else to show you they love you. And this desperate, beautiful need to show love becomes even more extreme when you are completely defenseless, which brings us directly to point number 9. Number 9. The Midnight Guardian Protocol. Ever noticed your cat waiting patiently until the exact moment you fall deeply asleep to climb softly onto your pillow and press their backside right against your cheek, your forehead, or the top of your head? Most people assume they are just being selfish opportunists, trying to steal your radiating body heat because the human head is a warm spot in a cold room. But here is the thing. Your highly perceptive cat knows perfectly well that when you are asleep, you are completely unconscious and entirely defenseless. In the harsh reality of the wild, sleep is the single most dangerous time for any living animal, a time when predators strike. By deliberately positioning their physical body directly against your head, they are creating a highly sensitive, tactile early warning system for your benefit. Feline researchers point out that cats possess incredibly sensitive nervous systems and can detect microscopic vibrations and subtle movements in the environment. If any potential threat approaches in the dead of the night, the cat will feel it instantly and immediately wake you up to alert you. Furthermore, by pressing their scent glands near your face while you dream, they are actively and continuously marking you as their claimed protected family member. In cat language, they are saying that they are bravely standing watch over your fragile, unconscious human body while you travel helplessly through the dream world. This incredible, selfless dedication leads us to the final, most beautiful, and most awe-inspiring truth about your furry feline companion, which brings us directly to point number 10. Number 10. The ultimate surrender of the wild hunter. Ever noticed your cat doing this strange, intimate butt presentation behavior exclusively only to you, while completely avoiding running away from or hiding from strangers or guests who visit your home? Most people assume the cat is just naturally shy, antisocial, or simply takes a long time to warm up to new people in their environment. But here is the thing. The complex behaviors we have discussed today, the absolute physical vulnerability, the intimate scent marking the deep surrogate mother dynamic, and the midnight guardianship, these are sacred acts, reserved exclusively for the absolute center of a cat's universe. Anthropologists and historians who extensively study the domestication of cats constantly remind us that felines are essentially still wild apex predators who simply choose to live comfortably inside our modern houses. They have not been genetically altered over thousands of years to automatically love and obey us the way dogs have been bred to do. A cat's affection, trust, and loyalty must be actively earned every single day. When a tiny, fierce, perfectly evolved predator consciously chooses to turn its back on you, willingly expose its fatal blind spots, and offer you its most intimate scent, it is a profound, active choice of immense love triumphing over millions of years of survival instinct. In cat language, they are saying that out of all the giant creatures in the massive world, you are their chosen family, their ultimate safe haven, and their absolute greatest treasure. This brings everything full circle back to the beginning. Every single time you push them away because you think they are being gross, you are entirely missing out on the highest honor and the purest compliment a feline can ever bestow upon a human being. They are literally handing you their absolute trust, their loyalty, and their life beautifully wrapped in a very weird, slightly smelly package. So be completely honest with me. Did they do point number 3? If they did, it is time to pay up that like and subscribe. Go give your little house panther a delicious treat for me.